Continuing our Meet the Candidate series for the seat of Solomon. And joining me live on the line is the independent Phil Scott. Good morning to you, Phil.
Good morning, Katie. Great to be with you.
Good to have you on the show, Phil. A number of questions. You've got 8 minutes, and I've got a couple of additional ones for you, but I might ask you those at the end of the 8 minutes, if that's all right.
Yeah, no stress.
All right, you ready? Let's get into it. Now, Phil, first off, why do you think you're the best person to represent the seat of Solomon?
Because my background's in community building, and because I've been actually having conversations, hundreds of them with community for a few years now, and because we are supported by volunteers, hundreds of volunteers from across Darwin and Palmerston, who are all motivated by the same things, who are now all organising together around this way of having community representation, which is grassroots, which is volunteer driven, and which is also really fun because we realise that we've got a lot of power in ourselves as a community.
Phil, cost of living has been raised on this show as the number one issue for voters. What will you do to lower the cost of living for those in Solomon?
So we have a lot of power as an independent. Cost of living the way it is, because there are only two parties who have been in power for decades now. So the position that we find ourselves in, paying through the nose for our groceries, for our power bills, for our rent, and for our housing, because these parties have created the system to be this way. What we're saying is that we want to hold them accountable for implementing recommendations of the supermarkets inquiry. We've got two of the most profitable and powerful supermarkets in the world. It's a duopoly. It shouldn't be that way. And we're not taking money from the supermarket. So we're actually able to speak up and say, we want to change that dynamic. Same goes for power bills. We're not taking money from gas companies. So we're able to say, you know what? We want to address the cost of living by bringing down the cost of power for everybody, and including and especially small businesses, so that they can manufacture things and they can deliver services a lot cheaper. We also want to address cost of living by through cheaper flights. Again, we've got another duopoly. It's not just two big parties. It's not just two big supermarkets. Two airlines who have captured the airline market. And again, we're saying they donate to major parties, and so they have their interests there. But we as a community, the people of the territory, are distant to the corporation and to the major parties. Our interests are coming third in all of this, so we want to shake that up.
Phil, obviously you say that as an independent, you've got a lot of power, but how? If we don't end up with a hung parliament, how will you make sure that those voices are heard?
Yeah, good question. Essentially, at the moment, our voice is being ignored. We've got people doing it tough here in the territory. We've got really abysmal health outcomes. We've got really abysmal community safety outcomes. And what have our major party representatives saying about it? What have they been doing about it? There's no power in having a backbencher ignored by some party room bosses 3,000 kilometres away who don't give a stuff about the territory. We want somebody in there having a bit of a scrap and standing up for it and actually speaking out about what's in Territorians' interest at a national level. And that's where the power lies. And the independents have been able to show that they've got a lot of good outcomes for their community just by being in there and just by having a voice.
Phil, crime continues to be an issue for the Northern Territory. If you are elected as a federal member, how do you feel what do you feel could be done by the federal government to try and support the Northern Territory government in this space?
So many things. So again, people are really angry about this, and people have been really let down by a lot of false and